Back in the lab. What to get into tonight? I really should get started on the large size board. Well, that's going to take some construction. Though, I mean, it's not going to be too hard. Perhaps I can start to prepare for it somehow. How can I apply for an internship? Shoot me a message. I think I'm gonna go ahead and put a few internships into the into the mix in the beginning to see who can really make it through all the way. Cause seems easy. Seems easy, but I mean, it is easy, but it doesn't mean that it's for everybody. I mean, I'm really not going to be getting into too much crazy stuff, to be honest with you. But anyway, I'm starting to get it, Carson. Glad to have you here. Glad to hear it. I'm not really sure what I'm going to get up to today. I really think, how long have I been live? I just went a super late live today. So busy, so freaking busy today. But I'm not going to not go live. I'm really 2 hours and 20 minutes past my bedtime. Here I am in the time machine station, donning 20th dimensional set of hoverings so that I can delve into data. What's up, Clone Master? What's the budget looking like? Hey, whatever it takes to get it done. I do have to rein it in though, because I'm constantly running over budget, but I do my best to keep it within bounds. Can we invest? Not really, to be honest. I mean, I just simply don't have a mechanism for investing. Investing is actually not as simple as you would think. It's actually illegal to take certain kinds of investments at different levels. With a business, of course, you can have someone be a business partner, but it's interesting. We love you. Thank you so much, my guy. I appreciate you. All right. You on Kalshi? No, not on Kalshi. Can I buy part of your business for some money? Yeah, sure. Not this one. I mean, not a Lifescape, but I got a few. It's definitely possible, though I wouldn't recommend it at the moment. If we're going to be frank. You know, I might not even, I mean, could work out, but there's other things that are bigger guarantees. You can buy some Amazon stock. That's a good idea. So it's crazy. Anyone can buy some of Amazon. Isn't that pretty cool? And smaller than Netflix, you can buy some of Netflix. The hover configuration. Fully encoding it for the first time in the station. Because we made it when we were out on the road. Take this with you. I mean, we're all going together. It is quite sensational. I mean, it's wonderfully sensational. Oh, I do have the Time Machine Studio here, so I can encode some basic testing. Just to get started. I'm really thinking now, I'm just doing this as background, but I'm really thinking about make a Lord of the Rings. I think it's a really interesting concept, but of course at its heart it's extremely science fiction. I mean, didn't Sauron himself Wasn't that the whole thing when you watched the Amazon version of the show? He like made, was it Sauron or who's the main bad guy? Anyway. He had magical powers. The guy couldn't even die somehow. I don't know what's going on with that. The Lord of the Rings universe is kind of interesting. I always like to look up universes when I'm engaging in. I think they'll get the Tesseract seeds as well. It's right here. The Tesseract seeds teleported themselves into the station. I don't know why I thought they weren't here, but they are here. Catches my eye. Glad to hear it. I was keeping them in suspended animation in the hover wraps. Tesseract seed. Wonderful. I always think I'm tired, too tired to do this sometimes when I do the late ones like this. But when I get going, it's just so exciting. Just so freaking exciting. It reminds me of all the research I need to do. Tesseract seed number 2. I have 2 Tesseract seeds at the moment. Wonderful. Did he just utter Tesseract seed? Oh my gosh, I can understand how that would be a little appalling. But yes, indeed, my friend. Some dehydration seems to have occurred. Maybe not much overall. So what makes it a Tesseract seed? I guess I should get into that. This is a polymer, 6-dimensional, topologically anyway, quantum gate. Quantum gate, like the gates in computers, logic gates. This is a quantum gate. The inside is the 4D substrate infused with the quasi-dimensional gold. And if you saw the infusion process, you'd realize it was no small thing. It happened last night on live. I actually didn't think it was going to work, but I was able to rush the encoding. Kuroka, thank you for the rose. But the quantum gate. So when you loosely enclose the 4D substrate in the quantum gate, it's very fascinating. I'm just doing research on it, so I can't even really get into the details too much, which that's not really fair to you. But I gave you as much as I have off the top of my head. But yeah, it's very fascinating. The 6-dimensional gate around the 4D substrate. Tesseract seed. We can do a test of the Tesseract seed. Best to encode it on the solar lab. But this is just a precursor. Still though, I can't discount. Some of these ideas are so loose that it wouldn't make sense to be thinking, oh, I need to move on to the next thing. I know sometimes with scientific progress, you're thinking to yourself, like, oh, well, I need to have discovered it already. Well, come on. Gather research at your current level for at least until you get a breakthrough. That's where your breakthrough is. It's at your current level. You just have to. That's why it's called a breakthrough. I think it needs more Hilbert space. Whoo! I think we all need more understanding of Hilbert space. I actually think that Hilbert space is just regular space. It's just that we don't understand the geometry of dimensions. There are infinite dimensions. That's why I think that's why it agrees with my hypothesis of infinite dimensions. Because in Hilbert space, there are infinite dimensions. It's just that because of the way we think about 3 dimensions, wow, look at that data. Because of the way we think about 3 dimensions, we find it very difficult to conceive of a framework where there are infinite dimensions in our current reality. Yet, I think we're very easily confronted with the evidence of higher dimensional structures when it comes to higher level concepts. We just can't bridge the gap for some reason scientifically. Bro said, I want you to make an ASMR channel. Apply to be an intern. I'll let you make the official Kenyo ASMR channel. Me? I have studies to do. But if it is your passion, let's get it done, my friend. Wow. Incredible data on the Tesseract seed. The Tesseract seed, in my hypothesis, is encoding data roughly 64 times. It's like a super time machine booster, being innately 4th dimensional. It accelerates the encoding. A 4th dimensional cube. How is this data exactly? I mean, everything's data, but when you get what creates high level data is low entropic noise. In my hypothesis. So what is entropy? It's a lot of different things. But the easiest way to think about entropy is when something's natural propensity to exhibit its full 4th dimensional capabilities. Right? Because things don't decay. They merely fully rest. You know? It's like calling yourself like, hey, when I go to sleep, I'm decaying. Like, no. Now, unlike us, when the universe finally goes fully to sleep, at the end of time, it will never wake up again. So that's where the analogy, I think, is a little weird. But anyway, other than that, entropy is just the hidden 4-dimensionality. And just like everything. Anyway, never mind. And so, when testing, you want to look for stagnation of the entropy. Now, how do you actually do that? You know, how does a scientist truly create a lab? He creates ubiquitous scales, right? He doesn't always need to have the same beaker, but amazing data. He always needs to have, we're going to go dual Tesseract on this next test. Actually, before we do that, let's go ahead and encode this up with an external 4D substrate. Beginning first crystallization. The Tesseract seed. I kind of have a hypothesis that slime is a form of crystal. I have to do some more work on that. But anyway, maybe a 4th dimensional crystal. I remember to track your dad. What does that mean? BS. I mean, it's easy to say BS, you know, but let's hear your counter argument, your counter proposal. That is what makes it science, my friend. Everybody's wrong, but you know, who can be the most right? Is the real question. So you have to come back and be righter than me. And don't just repeat what someone else told you. You gotta come up with something new. Those are the rules out here in science land. Wow. Oh man. Now that. Let's see what do we notice differently about that. I mean, at this point, we're boosted up to about what 200 times data encoding by using the external 4D substrate. Get some friends. What are you talking about, my guy? 30-year-olds don't need friends. We've had friends. So many friends. Actually, I have too many friends. It becomes weird when you get older, to be truthful. Just get tired. Anyway, arts and crafts. Hey, couldn't have said it better myself, my friend. Couldn't have said it better myself. Arts plural. Wow, it's amazing. Arts and crafts. So we're going to use the 4D apparatus to encode the substrate, really. A dual Tesseract system and extract this golden data. This changes everything. Indeed, my friend. Put a spoiler on the board to make it faster. That's interesting. Okay, but now let's continue, because what I discovered earlier in the test that I released for today was quite astounding. And it was the nature of quantum. I think I might have discovered the speed limit equivalence in the sixth dimension, which is just as the speed of light, which is just the speed limit of the entire universe. Light just happens to be one of many things that are limited by that speed, but it's massless, so, and interacts with a lot of stuff that we know how to test. So it's our flagship for that speed. It gives us the most data on that speed. Also, I actually think photons are predominantly responsible for converting mass into data. But anyway, just as light is the moves the speed of light, or the speed of the third dimension is the limit, the speed of radiation. I don't know what to call it. The speed of massless radiation. I don't like calling it the speed of light because it's not the only thing that moves at that speed. But anyway, the speed of massless radiation has equivalencies. In my hypothesis is that, and that's the speed limit. That's the limit, if you want to call it the speed limit. Speed is the third dimension in my hypothesis. But anyway, as well as many other things that are correlated to it. But the limit for the fourth dimension is decay, which is why I do the decay rate of the Higgs boson. The speed of light, the decay rate of the Higgs boson might be the speed. The only problem with that is I don't think the Higgs boson is it the fastest decaying particle? I'm gonna have to look into that. But if it's not, I also maybe have some suggestions about why that might be true. Again, I understand 99.99999% wrong, but if I can extract some truth, make some contribution, everybody's a little bit wrong. I just want to be a little bit right as well. But anyway, so for the fourth dimension, the limit is the decay rate of the Higgs boson. You have no form of thrust. Yeah, I mostly don't in this one, because the wax core was actually the propulsion mechanism. But it's not really engaging very much. Though maybe, I'm not sure. I had to continue. 0.01% truth is all we need. Well, it would be 0.0001. Hopefully that can suffice. No, but thank you so much. You need automatic air. That sounds interesting. Electromagnetism is magnetism is the key to the hoverboard. I mean, everything is three-dimensional is pretty electromagnetic. I mean, three-dimensionality is inherently electromagnetic. All the things we think of as mass. Mass is just electromagnetism. Well, maybe that's not entirely true, but let me continue. The decay rate of the Higgs boson is the limit of the fourth dimension. And finally, the fun of the fun. Interesting. I don't know exactly what that translates to as a physical property yet, but it's basically a calculation of the systemicness of a certain unit. And if the muon neutrino, as I think it might be, is the particle of the sixth dimension, not really the particle, but the particle yeah, I guess you could say the particle of the sixth dimension, then the systematic, the fun anyway, of the muon neutrino would potentially be the limit of the sixth dimension. So anyway, I have some research to do on that. I think I'm going to be proven correctly, though, because it's been a lot of research that led to it. But we'll see. Do your own research, you guys. Do your own research. Google exists, though. Don't let your own inability to frame questions properly. Interesting. Really interesting. Anyway, so back to why Tesseract seeds encode data faster. Ubiquity of scales. But scale is not simply size, though it is more accurately complexity of dimensions. And so by having replicatable concepts, you're giving yourself the capacity to store data. What is one sort of way of thinking about this? You know how we have two eyes, right? What do two eyes do? Two eyes collecting just photons, truthfully. They're able to give you what you would call a three-dimensional perspective, right? In the same way, having two ubiquitous objects, massive objects, grants you an inherent fourth-dimensional perspective if they're ubiquitous. And that is the basis of data collection. And when improved, can vastly lead to increased data collection. And it's really, especially when a human is a manual operator, the basis behind all forms of what we call practice, which is the innate human ability to process data into progress, even if there isn't a literal transference of the detailed concepts involved. Right? As long as you practice, you'll get better, even though you're just failing at doing the same thing over and over again, somewhat unconsciously, though to varying degrees. The people who are the most conscious make the fastest progress, though not by as wide as a margin as you would sort of assume. It is a wide enough margin for us to have a gradient of excellence. What have you discovered today? We've been doing some Tesseract tests at the moment. This is going to be a wild configuration. An absolutely wild configuration. The data we get from this. So technically right now we would be encoding at roughly 64 times 64 is going to be somewhere around 380 something or something like that. Multiply that again, well, I'll just call it 700. Multiply that again by 4, yeah, 2800. We're encoding data at roughly 2800 times regular time machine boosts or regular tests. So this should give us the leg up to finish the hoverboard faster. So if I don't have the hoverboard done in 3 weeks, that'll be evidence of failure, which I won't even be too sad about. It'll just mean another 6 years of slogging with the hoverheads, my favorite people to slog with. Wow. Look at that data. I wish I hadn't touched it. Interesting. Very interesting. Superb data. Superb data. Okay. I was actually getting more data on the Tesseract at this point than the actual hoverboard. So let's go ahead and run some heavily. We only have one hoverboard, but we can get the same level of data encoding by doing what I've unlocked. Now with this Time Machine Lab. The Time Machine Lab with the battery pack base. I've come to start thinking that potentially the electron configuration in the or whatever splishing the electrons. I don't really know exactly. We'll just gotta do some research. But anyway, the electron configuration in the battery allows for boosted loop times, which can allow for infinite testing. It's probably not true, but hey, there has to be a little bit, 0.0001%. Caleb Cohen. Plus, you guys, I'm going to be off here in like a second. Like, this is super late for me. This is actually out of here, but I couldn't go a day without gathering this data. Oh my gosh. Alright, I'm literally out of here in like 2 minutes. I would like to invest. Hey, like I said, there's really no way to invest right now, guys. Plus, you just being here watching, that is the true investment that I need at this moment. The investment of your attention. So I appreciate you. And I don't really need it, but I appreciate it the most. You know, it's just cool. It's cool to have you here. Yeah, I appreciate that. We made some pretty good progress today. Yeah, it's true. I've encoded some data. Energetically, it's been mild, but we're so late at night. I truly think the best time to encode is early. I guess this is technically super early in the morning because I started after midnight. But when does the morning start? Is it 4 a.m.? Probably. Probably something like that. Night. Does night end at... No. Midnight. It's called midnight. Which means that night would have to be probably, if you think about it, as half the day. 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Which would mean the morning would maybe be from... Someone Google it. Somebody Google it. Mid equals middle of the day. Just go to sleep. Hi, Kenya. What's up, man? Buzzwords. Hey, buzzwords are the best words. Milton, thank you so much for the onslaught of roses, my guy. I appreciate it. You've given me the vigor necessary. The vigor necessary to run some fantastic tests. Wow. We're not going to reset like we did every other time. Right now we're just encoding data. Whoa. Whoa. crazy things are happening. Gotta focus. Let's push this back so we can get some good. Okay. We're still mostly getting Tesseract data as I. Interesting. Okay. So that was 4. Relatively slow periodicity, but it's working. It's working. I think one thing is I need to secure the battery pack. You wouldn't think that would matter, but I think it does somehow. We need to increase. Oh, you know what, bro said? It's interesting that we ended up with these little dots scattered around. Let's just go stack those back up just for the sake. I don't think that will lose our compiling factor. Let's go ahead and test just with some magnets. On the top of the board. This will encode some ambient second dimensional data that I think will greatly boost our concepts. Interesting. I was hoping something like that would happen. Play leads to fun. Fun being the true epiphany of systematic capacity in an energy field. Interesting. Oh, this is absolutely fabulous data. Absolutely fabulous data. Absolutely fabulous data, ladies and gentlemen. We have truly done it tonight. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Absolutely fantastic data. Absolutely. Wow. All right. That's it. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. One more before I go. I've already removed 4 rings. I'm in the periodic. Oh, I'm in the periodic configuration. Let me see what I can. Well, so right now we're encoding 14th dimensional data. That might have a breakthrough, so I never hold back from a breakthrough. Wow. Wow. Very cool. Very cool. Very cool. But I gotta go, you guys. I will see you later. What am I watching right now? Is it working? Yeah, more or less. No, I gotta go. It's late. It's absolutely late. We're getting close. Hold on, what is this? Testing the hoverboard 20th dimensional progress, proto 20th dimensional progress, using the 20th dimensional television configuration. I didn't even get into that tonight, the television configuration. So I think that the force of the 20th dimension is TV. You know what's funny about that? You know, you have 20th Century Fox, which is interesting. But anyway, let me go ahead and get on out of here. I'm going to have to publish a paper on the 20th dimension. If I have the energy tonight, I'm going to do that, because if I don't, then it's too absurd of a concept to just drop on you guys. It really is. And even to myself, I don't want to do that to myself. So that I can codify at least a basis for what is to come. Or I can end up in the time machine, but I'm gonna go ahead and write a paper on the 20th dimension tonight, as well as the limit of the 6th dimension being fun, and the muon, and fun being a categorization of the quantum quantum of systemicness in an energy field. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. Oh, let me get these Tesseract seeds out of here. What are you guys saying? Fourth dimension don't got to do with fingerboards? I don't know why that would be true. What is your hypothesis based off of? Is it pure conjecture? I mean, it seems to be almost fantastically fictional. I think this actually came out of here. See, it feels a little light. Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Store them deep in hover cocoons, keeping them ready to go for the next test, which is all part of the fourth dimensionality. See, the thing is, a lot of this data is going to be super critical, super duper critical for what the time machine is going to be in the future. Because the time machine is going to be the ultimate third dimension manipulator. And that's going to be interesting. I can probably drop a little bit more on that later on. Right now I'm doing everything manually, but this will all be automated with scale, motors, self-energization. Are you hydroplaning to the future? Whoo! No. No. All right, you guys. It's been an absolute pleasure. What are we doing tonight? Oh, I'm done. Sorry, I had to do a quick one tonight because I started so late, but it's 1 o'clock over here. I gotta go to sleep. But thank you guys so much. Kickflip, time jump. There's much to come. There's much to come. This is barely the beginning, if I'm honest. I know we're 6 years in, but that's why I started on this stuff so early. If you know anything about me, I'm well acquainted to the reality of time. If you want to be a great, brilliant scientist, first of all, your most brilliant years are going to be somewhere between 60 and 83, if you're blessed to live so long. But that gives me about 50 years to simply encode data. Even if it takes me another 10 years to simply distill 0.0001% of my discoveries, I'll still be one of the youngest, greatest scientists ever. People struggle dealing with time. But anyway, he doesn't even know coding. I mean, I probably will. Can't take that long. I can do HTML, so good luck. America's counting on you. Thank you so much, you guys. Delusional dimension. Very likely there is a delusional dimension. Now, what is a delusion? It's interesting. That's what's up, heck yeah. Delulu is not the Solulu. Okay, interesting. Show your face, handsome. Not tonight. Not tonight. That'd be too much work. More testing. Not tonight, because I'm getting out of here. You the man. Thank you so much. Mudmancer, great to see you back. What is the point of this? Hoverboard. Time machine. Patience. Study. ASMR final bros. Love to hear it. Do you prefer more or less viscous material? Oh, both. All have their purposes. You gonna do some? I'm heading out right now. Your videos inspire me. Thank you so much. One more kickflip on the hoverboard. I don't know how to kickflip on the fingerboard. It seems very complicated, and this one is not really kickflippable at the same time. Now you're just clocking in. fortunately, I really just love doing this. So it could really never be that. That's the good thing about being yourself, ladies and gentlemen. When you're yourself, even if you were clocking in, even if you were spamming, as some people like to say, it's good to spam yourself. It's good, and it's fun. That's what playing video games is. That's what reading a good book is. You don't say, oh, I loved this thing so much, now I'm gonna go do something that I like less for the sake of variety. That doesn't make sense. When is the hoverboard gonna have a prototype for it? That's why you shouldn't fake, though. Just be yourself. It sucks to have to pretend to be somebody all the time when, that's not who you are, but you just want to fit in with some people. Sorry, what was that question again? When is the hoverboard going to have a prototype for it? Very soon, very soon. That's actually what I was hoping this test would push me into. I need to get into the large scale. But it's going to take some interesting stuff. But I'm ready to go. It's going to be interesting. We'll see what goes down. Actually, I just got some ideas. I got some real ideas. Oh, the paper on the 20th dimension is going to be brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Whoa. Okay, I gotta go, guys. Thank you so much. Stay blessed. Keep rocking. Don't let anyone dissuade you from being yourself. You're smart. You're beautiful. You're exactly who you're supposed to be. Trust me. You're a lot smarter, and you're a lot more beautiful than you think. I'm telling you the truth. It's probably about 1,300 times, at least. That's just the nature of things. You can't even truly actually comprehend how intelligent and beautiful you are, because it's not within the capacities of most mindsets until you truly see what's actually going on. Humans themselves are just incredibly rare. But who you are right now, man, it doesn't get better than you. I'm telling you the truth. It doesn't. All right, y'all. I'll see you soon. Stay blessed. Hashtag Hoverheads. Always be yourself. Hoverheads out.